Hey guys, it's Rabbit. I just want to make a video this time about sort of how I got into the ball jointed doll hobby. October 25th was my Dolliversary. I've been into the hobby for 8 years, and also Suri's birthday because that is the day that she arrived home. So, I was going to talk a little bit about how I got into the hobby, why I got into the hobby, and sort of my experiences. So I guess I was kind of living in an interesting situation back in 2008. I wasn't very happy, and I didn't have a lot of hobbies. I didn't really have much of a life. I worked a lot. I worked at a mint. We made like commemorative coins and stuff like that. And I worked from like 6 o'clock in the morning to 4 or 5 in the evening. And I didn't drive, but I made a lot of good money there. But I didn't have a lot of bills or anything, so I had money, but I just kept buying stuff that I didn't really care about. Like I'd buy manga and then read it and be like, okay, whatever, stuff like that. So I thought, well, I should really like put my money into something that I actually care about. And when I started with the dolls, it's not really like necessarily that I thought I would get into them as much as I am into them now, but it was something kind of fun. So at first when I saw them, I saw one on DeviantArt. It was this girl's picture, and I think it was a Fairyland sculpt and a Lottie doll sculpt, and I think one of them was hers and one of them was her sister's. I have no idea who this artist is anymore. I can't even remember. But the dolls looked interesting to me, so I looked up Lottie doll, I think, first, and I kind of came across their website, and I was like, oh, these are really cool. They're like Barbies, but not, like Barbies. They're like really unique and posable and all that. So I kind of looked at them from Lottie Doll, and I think somehow I ended coming. I didn't even know what they were called. I didn't know that they were called ball jointed dolls or anything. And by accident, I kind of came across, I think, Soom's website. And at the time, like, they didn't have a whole lot because this was 2008. I actually saw this doll. She's an Ippelhaus Haaren, and they had her on their website for some reason. I think they had them through consignment or something like that, which is kind of weird when I think about it now. But I ended up getting redirected to Ippelhaus's website, and I really liked her promotion pictures. I liked the look of her face and the way they had styled her, but I also really wanted like a redhead doll. So eventually, like when I learned how to do face-ups and stuff, I redid her face to be more like a redhead. But I don't know why, like my first instincts were I wanted like a guy doll, but because of where I was living at the time and like some of the people that would be like seeing what I got in the mail, I felt a little more comfortable getting a girl doll first. Like now I wouldn't really give a crap. I'd just get whatever I wanted. But it's not that I didn't want her, it's that like I was more interested in the guys, and I still am because I have like 3 full girl dolls and like 2 little girl dolls, and all the other dolls that I have are guys. So the guys really do interest me more. But she I just really liked her sculpt, and I've always liked her sculpt. And there's not very many Haarens around. Like I don't know, maybe people see something that I don't, but I think she's adorable. But so I kind of looked at the money factor and I went, God, these are really expensive. But at the same time, I don't really have anything to spend my money on, so I was like, if I really want one, I should just get one. And my mom and sister and stuff were like, yeah, those are pretty cool, and if you want to spend money on them, it's your money, go ahead. So I bought her first, and it was pretty interesting because I didn't know how long she would take or anything. She actually didn't take very long at all. I think she took like maybe close to a month. Ippelhaus has always been pretty quick with their orders, or at least they were when I ordered from them. And they shipped her, and I don't know if I really knew how to track them yet because I don't really remember like tracking her that well. And she just kind of showed up. Like I was at work, and my mom actually called the lady, like the secretary in the office, and she came out and told me, hey, your mom says that the big box is here. Like, she had wrote it on a note, and it said the big box is here. And she handed it to me, and I wish I would have saved that note, because it was really cute. But she knew that I would know what she was talking about, so I was really excited, like, the rest of the day. And I went home, and she was really cool. At first, I had kind of some, like, second thoughts about the size, because I only had my bedroom back then, and it had, like, tons of stuff in it, so I was like, well, she's kind of big, and then I was like, heck, I could just put her anywhere, you know, she's not that big, and she was kind of floppy, she was, like, loosely strung when I got her, and I didn't know how to tighten her strings, or, like, take off her head or anything. So I was just like kind of reading what I found on Den of Angels and figuring out what's going on, and it was like a big learning experience, and I'm sure everybody has these kind of experiences. You know, your doll smacks you and, you know, won't stand up, won't sit down. She still won't sit down. I actually am holding her in place right now because this sculpt does not sit worth a darn unless, like, she's wired or something, which I've considered. But, anyway, she's not really the best poser, so that kind of put me off at first, but I just really love the artistic aspect of it. And then I got into sewing, and, eventually I got into doing their makeup, which wasn't until, like, 3 or 4 years after that. But, I started sewing, which was really cool, because I got a sewing machine, and, I started, like, developing patterns and things like that, and this is something, like, I didn't have anybody to teach me, so I just kind of looked stuff up online, or just kind of figured it out, you know, so, I mean, it was a big learning process, so this doll's been through, like, everything, but, I mean, I can sew a lot of different stuff now, and most of the time I do sew the clothes because they're so expensive to buy that it's just easier just to make it myself rather than spend the money, because I don't make as much money as I did back then. I have to, like, save for dolls and stuff now, where then I could just, like, pretty much take it out of, like, a paycheck or two. You know, I didn't have to save very long. Now it's like, okay, I gotta save for a couple months to buy one doll. But, yeah, I guess the aspect of personalization really, like, was the coolest part for me, because I like, when I was younger, I had Barbies and stuff like that, and, they had, like, different clothes and different hairstyles and stuff, but the fact that you can make these dolls, like, your own, and there's just so much you can do with them, and the potential to, like, redo the makeup and stuff, even though I didn't know how to do it back then, I was, like, always knowing that someday I was going to. And I think she's had at least 5 or 6 different face-ups by now. I really like the one she has right now. Obviously, someday I'll redo it because they fade, they get scuffed, you know, I'm not really, like, super, like, careful about keeping out of sunlight and stuff like that. I like to have my dolls displayed, and if they get some sunlight, if they fade, so be it, but I'd rather have them out where I can see them. So, anyway, I guess after a while, I did learn how to do face-ups, and I'm really glad, because this character, she's really, like, come into herself. This is actually, like, a wig that I got her for her birthday, because she's had the same, red wig for, like, 8 years, I guess, and, it's really, like, frayed and stuff, and I cut it, like, 2 or 3 times because the ends kept getting really ratted. I didn't know how to brush them at first, like, I used a comb, and it just kind of, like, ratted it up, so I had to trim it a couple times, and I was like, it's time for her to have, like, something that's a little bit different of a look, and this has got kind of, like, a cute little braid in the front, and it's a little wavy. It's, like, super shiny and soft, which is nice. But speaking of wigs, sorry, Siri, your time is done. I'm gonna move you because you're really cramping up my hand. I actually got into wig making too, and I think this is something that's gonna be, like, really addictive for me, because at first I tried to I actually tried to make one out of my own hair the first time because I had some hair from when I cut it, and then I grew it out and I cut it again, and I had all this hair, and I was like, well, this will be a good practice when it doesn't cost me any money. So I started by making a wig out of human hair. Well, there's a few techniques when you make a wig that don't really work that well with human hair because it's thicker, and it doesn't, like, when you get to the part line and you gotta like fold it over on itself, you can't really do that with human hair. So I guess if you tried to sew it on the wig cap or something like that, you could make a human hair wig, but it was too thick for like what I wanted to do. So I finally like ordered some alpaca, and London is the one that I really have been wanting to make a wig for. I don't know if you can see him very well because he's so white. But I got this alpaca, and it's like really soft, and it's got a wave to it. And this is more like the look that I wanted to have for him. Eventually, I think I'm going to make another wig for him that's actually even a little bit shorter and has bigger waves to it. But for now, I really like how this turned out. And it's got like a little part right here, and there's a little bit of like parts where you can see the glue. It's a little crunchy on the top right here, so it's not like perfect, but I can tell that this is going to be something I'm really going to get into. It's a lot of like it's a lot of tedious work, but it really doesn't take like as long as you would think, except for that you have to wait for the glue to dry. So that is actually the most time consuming part, is waiting for the glue to dry. But I like that you can get whatever kind of style that you want, and I also like that the wig, like the head cap, fits their head so well. It's like made just for them. There are, I know, like at least 3 or 4 of my other dolls that I really want to make wigs for, and I want to learn how to do shorter hairstyles as well. So that's going to be something I'm going to probably be talking about more. The only thing is that the hair, I bought a whole ounce for his wig, and I did have some extra, which is good because I was like, I'd rather have more than not enough. But the only thing is it's kind of expensive. So if anybody knows where I can buy like alpaca and stuff, like a good shop where they have pretty decent prices, I got some on Etsy, and I'm not gonna say her price was bad because it's really quality stuff, and it was cleaned really well, and it was bunched really professionally. And so I mean, I'll buy from her again, but I'd like some other suggestions to places where I can buy alpaca for anybody out there that like makes their own wigs and stuff. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit more research on that. But anyway, I guess that's kind of it for now. I will try to make another video. I've been trying to do this on Fridays when I'm home alone, because I hate talking to the camera when like other people are in the house. So I'll try to do another video pretty soon. There's some like memes and stuff that have been going around. Nobody tags me because nobody really knows who I am yet, so I might just do some anyway. But kind of something to look forward to. But I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.